The invitation to speak here today. I speak on behalf of the Civil Society Financing for Development Mechanism. Civil society organizations and trade unions all around the world have warmly welcomed the adoption of the resolution on international tax cooperation, which marks a truly historic turning point. We commend the Africa Group for its excellent leadership on this issue, and we congratulate all governments on reaching consensus. We now call on you all to maintain the spirit of cooperation and adopt modalities for the new UN tax process as a matter of urgency, and to ensure that this process becomes inclusive, transparent, and productive. The problem that we face is of a quite fundamental nature. When it comes to taxation, we lack the very framework for cooperation, including clear international principles, objectives, and key mechanisms and institutions. We believe that the right instrument to solve this challenge is the UN Framework Convention on Tax. And together with the Global Alliance for Tax Justice, we have developed a proposal for what such a convention could look like. We look very much forward to discussing this with all governments as we move forward through the new UN intergovernmental tax process. And as regards the existing fora, the first thing I will say is that a forum does not become inclusive or global just because you call it inclusive or global. All OECD countries are members of the United Nations. And we must keep in mind that if we set up a body to coordinate between the UN and the OECD, all OECD countries would be represented twice, whereas everybody else would be represented once. This goes against the spirit of the United Nations. The UN is the only body with truly universal membership, and for that reason alone, the work of the UN will never be duplication. We also find it ironic to hear OECD countries say that the UN is duplicating and at the same time decide to set up a new body on climate change and tax. Lastly, we hear that OECD countries say that it's because of the urgency that the OECD has to set global tax standards. But let's be honest about why we have wasted so much time. It's because the OECD countries have blocked progress here at the United Nations. We are delighted that we have finally reached consensus, and we look so much forward to seeing truly global tax cooperation here at the United Nations. I thank you.